So this is my Unreal third-person character controller project I've been working on. It's taken about maybe like 15 hours. It's made in C++, and now all the animations are done in blueprints. So you can now run around, walk around, and you can strafe. You can do your jumping. There's crouching with strafing, of course. And then we got two items here. Two different types of swords. They look a little different. One's a long sword, one's a regular sword. Let's pick up this sword. You can see his stance has changed. And he can attack up to 5 consecutive attacks on a combo. So you can. So let's just do all 5 right now. We can also pick up these other items. So here's the other sword. As you can see, the long sword and the regular sword equipped to different parts of the body. So we're going to drop our regular sword and pick up the long sword. You can see his animation is different. And also, his attack animations are a lot slower and they're different animations, but he can only attack up to 3 times consecutively. So let's go over the project files. So for the C++, I have an actor character, which is the character that moves around. Animation instance, animate instance for the character, an item component, and then of course our game mode. So let's go to C++. So here's just the actor character. It has everything you need for picking up items, dropping items, moving around, all that. Try to keep it as clean as possible and row comments everywhere. Then our animation instance character, this takes care of all of our animation properties for blueprints. So let's go to our, I'll show you how I set up my animation. So here I have different folders. Let's look for the sword one, attack. You got, so when you start attack, I use these notifies to tell the blueprints when to transition from attacks and when to start and when to end. So you got your attack start, continue, and end. And then you got your sound effects here. These purple ones, and they just play a sound cue. So we can just click play. Do a different one over here. And we can take a look at the blueprints I'm using. So blueprints, there's only a few of them. We have our character. I don't do any gameplay logic in blueprints. It's all done in C++. So we just set the variables here. There's our mesh for our character data, rendering data. Then you got your item longsword actor. It has the item component, which has this socket data table for sockets, telling where the items go in the body and its positions and rotations. And then you got then this is the ID we use here. So this longsword uses this data table, this row. And then you got what animation you want to play, animation index 2. This sword is the same, set up exactly the same way. So this uses a sword row, and it's the first animation index. I will show you that in blueprints. Let's go to our game modes. It's just a regular game mode. Just here's our character here. And then the animation's done in this animation instance blueprint. So here's our event graph. This calls our update properties. Where did you go? It calls this function right here. And then these notifiers were from the animations we saw earlier. Let's see. These attacks continues and attack ends are these notifiers here. And then these call this function here. And then in our event graph, our animation graph, I mean, we have here, we got our blend space for our unarmed movement, our sword movement of longsword stand. And you can see it's using item animation index 0 for this one, 1 for the sword, and then let's see, and this one's the second one. And then for attacking, we just check, are we attacking? Then we check if we are continue attacking. And then we also then have to check, we also continue attacking while other previous continued attack is almost done. And then we have our crouch and our jump here. So it's pretty easy setup. I try to keep it all clean. And here we just have our data folder, which keeps this item socket data table. And here's our one test map. Thanks for watching the video.